I'm trying to send shorter messages to certain people because then they could just read that. I could just send my own summary.
Send them a picture of the message that you wrote in another app.
It's actually kind of smart.
It'll have a harder time.
Then they might just not read it at all. Remember, these are people that don't read the emails, so.
Yeah.
Going back to letters and radio and traditional TV.
I mean, does anyone remember how to write though, Dan? I don't think it's gonna work. Dude, we did a sponsor bit for Dbrand the other day where they had me write something makes Linus a dull boy or something like that. You know, like the format. And I went to start writing and I was like, oh, I should write it in like different ways, you know, on the board as I fill up this board. And I went to start writing in cursive and I was like, hold on, okay, how do I? Oh, yeah. Like it took me a second. Like, how do I make that letter again? Like I never do it. It's not a skill that I practice. I used to write. Like you'd write in class. Like you'd have to write an essay in class, and you would do it in cursive because it's faster. But now what's the use of that skill? I can type so much faster than I could ever hope to handwrite.
Yeah, I tried to just imagine how I would write just the word something in cursive, and I think I could probably do it, but
yeah,
I can never remember the capitals.
Oh, jeez.
Victoria,
is lowercase.
Edmonton, Winnipeg.
Ding, ding, ding.
Dan is slapping the table in lieu of a ding.
I'm bringing the bell next time.
I was thinking we need to waste a bunch of company time and build a motorized finger that can just press the ding.
That sounds like a great idea.
No,
that you can remotely call.
Ugh. No, we
It
don't.
wouldn't be so difficult.
No.
We actually have things at the office that do that already.
Yeah, I don't think it would actually be hard at all.
All right. That's on the list.
No.
Delta
Not right now, at
Airlines
least.
is using AI to price your
Regulator.
tickets and have found the results amazingly favorable. Oh, good. As part of a long-term strategy to boost profits, Delta has decided to use, yes, AI. It's no secret that airlines use dynamic ticket pricing to both fill seats and maximize profits, and it's a well-known secret that they'll even use your browser's cookies to adjust your pricing while you shop. But now they're using AI to drill down to be even more specific by using what they're calling personalized pricing. The goal is to use AI to further infer from your specific behavior as well as the nature of the market, the price that is maximally close to the line of what you're willing to pay. So cool, Delta. Wow. Appreciate you.
I just want to say, I didn't actually read their names. Balster in Flowplane chat. Just typed out, you can also wire it with an API to LTT store sales. And that made me think we could have things dynamically happen
Surge pricing
on the WAN set.
Yeah.
No. We could have things happen on the WAN set based on LTT store sales.
Oh, good things.
Yeah, well, or like pain for
No,
Linus or
for
myself or
humanity.
whatever. Sure.
I'm trying to talk about dystopian AI plane ticket pricing, and you guys are trying to figure out how
I
to
think
tie
it's funny that
like
if enough money,
a boot on a spring to a stupid merch message threshold. That's what you guys are working on.
No, I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about like having AI dynamic pricing and surge pricing.
No. Luke is talking
imagine
about
if
like
you
if we sell a certain amount of merch, like a bucket of water will dump onto like.
Price goes up.
but I love how he figured out literally the exact thing. I was thinking bucket of water, fall on head. Exactly. You nailed it.
You know how dangerous that is, right?
Robotic controlled turret.
Oh, yeah. The bucket of water would have to tip over and pour the water. You wouldn't actually want the bucket to fly.
What if it was full of bees?
Breaking Down 1923 says every 100 sales, Linus gets an electric shock from a dog collar.
No, you guys
This
did
could
that
be
word.
this could be like a, maybe not all the time thing, but this is totally something we could do.
Oh yeah.
And Conrad would love to make it. I promise. There would be probably too much enjoyment from that. It's just an idea.
Anywho, our discussion question is, could this be perceived as discriminatory if they're trying to profile exactly you and figure out your exact price threshold? And also, could you trick the AI and maybe use it to save money? I don't really see how you would, because the second you indicate any kind of interest in a plane, and especially any interest in a particular location, they're going to be all over that like white on rice, man. Like they gotcha.
Yeah, and it absolutely will be discriminatory. And I know a lot of people will knee-jerk and be like, yeah, just against rich people, though, so who cares? Sure, fair enough. But
regular people travel.
Won't be. It will try to detect, like, are you traveling for a funeral? Are you traveling for a wedding? Are you traveling for a job interview?
And rich
Is this
people,
something that you can't miss?
And rich people don't give a fuck. Like, yes.
It's actually less likely to impact rich people.
Yes.
Fun.
High score competitions probably not going to happen so much because they're just hidden away in like the premium members lounge. But I do have one pinball machine. It's a Twilight Zone pinball machine from I think 1993. It's really fun. Luke, have you tried it?
Yes.
It's cool.
I was not very good, but it was very fun.
It's classic. And then we also have the Dungeons and Dragons one that we unboxed on Short Circuit, but I'm not sure if Stern needs it back. It's complicated. I think initially they were like, yeah, we'll send you one. And then they were like, we need it back. But then we made the video about it, and I don't know if we've heard from them again. So like, so I have 1 point something pinball machines. Somewhere between 0 and 99.
1 and 2.
Somewhere between 1 and 2. But yes, it's fun. Boop. I guess we're just doing one. Cool. Anyway, so yeah, now's a good time to send a merch message or just, I don't know, pick up something on the store. Regardless of what happens with your merch message, we'll get some cool stuff in the mail. Man, my mouth is getting really sore. I guess it's time for our braces update. So I had the bite blocks pulled out. Okay, yeah. I had those pulled out on Monday morning. So I had them put in the Thursday morning. I did that WAN show last week. That was terrible. I had to suffer through them for the weekend. And I had a discussion with my orthodontist about how the whole thing has gone down. So I've talked about this before. I'm using the Light Force. So they're like these like 3D printed ceramic braces. They're like kind of a newfangled thing. The advantage is they're a little bit faster than, according to my orthodontist, they're a little bit faster than traditional braces or Invisalign. Yes, I know Invisalign is also 3D printed, so that's cool too. But I have become aware of some more challenging elements of them that I would have maybe loved to know about before I started. So the initial application of them does take longer, but what's cool is they apparently never need to reposition the brackets like you do with traditional train tracks, where you'll have to go in for fittings and they'll like take them off and they'll put them on in different spots as they continue to tweak things. So theoretically, with their templates, they put them in the exact right spot, and then you just put stronger and stronger wires in until they, are in the shape that they're supposed to be. So that's kind of neat. But what I have discovered is that they're quite, they have a bit more of like a texture to them that makes them feel a little bit sharper than I remember my older braces being. And I also found out that they sit prouder off the tooth than a traditional metal brace, or at least some of them. So the adjustment period that I've been going through, apparently, no, I am not imagining that these are doing a number on the inside of my lips to a greater degree than I remember braces doing. The other thing was that the bite blocks, they call them bite turbos apparently, were like recommended by this brace manufacturer as their way of handling, making sure you don't accidentally bite down too far with your top teeth and shear off the brackets. which was a concern for me because some of my teeth are so far up and need to be brought down in order to realign. But they're obviously horrible. And when I complained about them to the orthodontist, they were like, oh, well, we'll just do it the old school way. So they just have this like epoxy goo that they mix, put on the teeth back here, and then they just cure it with a UV light. And now I just have like bite blocks at the back, which is obviously way better because now I can slice with my front teeth in order to like bite food. And also I can use the like glue bits to like mash food, whereas I couldn't get my molars together before. I had a gap like this big between my molars, so I couldn't mash food. It's like I can't slice and I can't mash. How the devil am I supposed to eat? I was supposed to have those things for like 2 months. Not to mention that I couldn't make S sounds, whereas now I can say she sells seashells by the seashore. Obviously, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better.
You can hear it a little bit, but it like doesn't really matter. And if you weren't really listening for it, I probably wouldn't really notice much.
Like I can actually do my job now, which is essential.
Yeah.
However, if I'm talking for a very long time, you will notice it starts to get worse again, and that's because the insides of my lips are really, really, really sore. So I can force myself to enunciate pretty well. But man, I just like shredded the insides of my lips to do that. So I just have to wait till they callus up and then I should be okay. Anyway, I'm doing it. I wanted to experiment with something different. I could have just done Invisalign. Believe it or not, these are actually slightly more expensive than Invisalign. So that's interesting. Linus developing man lips. Yeah, man, I'm going to take up drinking coffee because I'm not going to be able to feel anything. I want it to be 100 degrees. Also, Luke says, why did you pick the color braces you did? Why not go obvious pink? I don't know. I was thinking about doing like green and pink or something like that, or doing like pink with like green on the canines. Do like Lambo stripes.
Yeah.
I might.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to change out the elastics every time I go in for tightening, so I might still do it.
That could be cool.
But I wanted to just start with clear, so they're white brackets. So it's from this distance.
We got to find ways to monetize the little niche things like that. Like we should do. Here's a full corporate brain, Luke. Just
yeah. What's up with that?
I like it. We should. You know how we talked about r/place on a WAN show a couple WAN shows ago. What if we made it so that there was like a tug of war system that decided the different various colors for the different various positions, and you had to do it based on like LTT store product vote sales.
Oh, or it could just be attached to your merch message. You could just get a vote with every merch message.
You pick a yeah.
Or you could get a number of votes for every dollar you spend if we wanted to go full corporate brain.
Right.
So $250 is 250 votes.
Yeah, and then you'd have to pick a position and a color, and then that puts the votes towards that.
Good Lord, you want to get that granular, hey? Is someone logging all of these ideas? I feel like someone should log all these ideas somewhere.
Conrad and I talked about the last r/place idea before, and we said we weren't going to do it as high priority because there's other things to work on, but that it would be something that was logged.
Hilarious.
Is this something that you would want slightly higher priority on, or no?
I mean, I think that
you would need to do it sooner rather than later if you actually wanted to do it.
I think WAN show is a good vibe right now. I think that if we have something that we think is legitimately really fun, like the butt kicker or the electric shock or the whatever,
I think those are hilarious.
I think those are probably stronger ideas and probably a lower lift as well, because all we need is just like a relay essentially, and then like a hook into the store, like. I know Puget has a bell go off in their warehouse every time a sale goes through. Like, it can't be that hard to do that.
No, yeah, it should be fine.
Yeah. It's just a question of like how toxic we want to be about it. So like we could have it set up so that you have to hit greater and greater thresholds in order to have shocks keep going through, or we could have it set up so that you have to have a higher total order value than the last highest total order value in order for a shock to go through. It's just, I don't know. Corporate brain, Luke, whatever.
I've got ideas. Yeah, I've definitely got ideas.
I mean, everyone, Linus has agreed to getting shocked. Everybody take note. Dude, Luke and I have both been shocked on camera. There's a little channel you might remember.
I was assuming my involvement with this was implicit.
Oh, you better believe it, bub.
Yeah, I don't know if the chat realized that, but I'm sure you and I did.
Oh, I sure did, bub.
Yeah.
How is it so hard to find this? Channel Super Fun.
Should be pretty easy.
Yeah, I searched for Channel Super Fun dog collar and couldn't find it. This video may be inappropriate for some users. Oh, relax, bud.
Shock collar showdown. I found it. Yeah, it is. Wow, it's flagged. Why? Why did it get flagged?
I don't know, but this video is freaking hilarious. Basically, we each wear shock collars, and then the other one of us is holding the controller for our shock collar. So either one of us can choose to shock the other at any time. It's like the weirdest game. Is it a game? I don't know, but didn't we find out at the end that mine was way stronger?
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah. Yeah.
Like you were I just thought it was because of your size. But I like put yours on after and it was like not that bad. Mine was brutal.
I'm pretty sure that's one of the conclusions is that yours was way worse. Yeah, you can see at like 7 minutes, just before 7 minutes, you have this like insane reaction.
Okay, let's see.
I don't know, so do I. I don't know.
It was really painful.
Oh, maybe we put mine up to your level at this point or something.
Oh, yeah, you know what? That checks out. That checks out.
Doing stupid stuff is fun.
I know, right? Oh, yeah, it's good times. Good times. Charge Nuclei 8300 says the OnlyFans version is funnier and sexier. All right, what do we want to talk about next? Ooh, this is good news. Intel has released an image analysis tool. It's an AI-powered video quality measuring tool called Computer Graphics Visual Quality Metric, or CGVQM. It's now available on GitHub. Researchers first made a video dataset titled CGVQD, which includes a variety of potential image quality degradations, mostly stemming from distortions related to path tracing, neural denoising, neural subsampling, Gaussian splatting, frame interpolation, and adaptive variable rate shading. Researchers then trained an AI model to rate the image quality. Tested the dataset on humans first to check for our actual perception, who rated types of distortion from imperceptible to very annoying. They used a 3D convolutional neural network architecture and a residual neural network as the basis for evaluation. And pretty cool. So far, they claim it will outperform other quality evaluation tools, at least on their own data set. But obviously, I haven't validated any of this. But man, have I ever been looking for a way to quantify how badly multi-frame gen is like gumming up the works. And if this is something that they could continue to develop, I would be very excited.
Absolutely.
Because you know that NVIDIA has these tools internally. They 100% have them, just like they, had frame view, just like they had their power measuring tool. It's just that NVIDIA, who used to be so confident in their dominance in terms of efficiency and performance, and used to share these internal tools with reviewers so that they could hold NVIDIA, or realistically, NVIDIA's competitors accountable for their crappy performance in these ways. I would love to see Intel taking the lead in upscaling and frame generation image quality and arming the community with the tools to validate their leadership, because XeSS is actually pretty good as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
Legit excited for this. What else we got today? TSMC posts record high profits. They reported their Q2 financials and hoo-wee, 13.53 billion in profit on 31 billion in revenue. Wow. So they're making, wow. PC Gamer pointed out some comparison numbers. AMD made $709 million in profit from $7.4 billion in revenue. We think of AMD as a pretty, big, powerful company, sort of, TSMC absolutely eclipses them. They make more profit than AMD does in raw revenue. NVIDIA did post similar margins to TSMC, 19 billion profit with 44 billion in revenue. And a big part of this is due to increased demand from the AI boom. And on TSMC's side, raising prices per wafer. ASML, the only company in the world that makes the extreme UV lithography machines that TSMC relies on to make its most high-end nodes, also posted their Q2 numbers, 4.1 billion profit, with about 7.7 billion in sales for a gross margin of 53.7%. However, their stock dropped significantly as the 2026 outlook was chilled by geopolitical tensions. So if you're ever wondering why your GPU is so expensive, there's always a bigger fish. You can blame NVIDIA for a big portion of it, absolutely.
And you'd be right.
But TSMC is the one that everyone in the industry is too afraid to blame because TSMC holds the power. Literally, NVIDIA and AMD cannot build their products without TSMC. Samsung it's a shadow of its former competitor, and Intel is going through some stuff right now. I believed in Pat's vision. Now I just don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, Daniel, I don't know if Mr. Besser has a way of moving this to me, so I don't know.
You give me a second, yeah?
Nah, I'm good. I'm over it. Reddit is being forced to verify the age of its UK users in order to comply with new UK legislation starting on July 14th. Oh, that was 4 days ago. Reddit is having users in the UK perform robust age verification, which will include an uploaded selfie and a photo of your government ID in order to access mature materials. Other sites will also need to perform this kind of check. Reddit says that Persona, the firm performing the check, has promised not to retain the picture for longer than 7 days. Good luck, everyone. This will work really good, and surely this data will never fall into the wrong hands.
God, it's a terrible idea.
In other good news, your internet, that's right, yours, is now our internet. At least when you use some free VPNs. There's a saying that goes, if you don't pay for the product, then you are the product. And this is true of some free VPNs. The incredibly popular Hola VPN, perhaps best known as a Chrome extension for watching region-locked videos, is not your typical VPN. Most people understand the idea behind a VPN. Actually, I don't know if I agree with that, but some people understand the idea behind a VPN. You send your data to a server somewhere, and then that server finishes the trip and acts as a relay when things come back, allowing you to partially anonymize your data or browse websites like you are in that other location. Hola VPN is a peer-to-peer VPN. Instead of using centralized servers, Hola VPN instead sends your connection through the internet of another user. This means that if someone does engage in shady activity, it could be sent through your internet connection, meaning that authorities or rights holders could trace the activity back to you. But P2P web traffic is not always a bad thing. Tor operates in a similar manner to make data more difficult to trace. It's not anonymous, but it can help. The major difference is that on Tor, you need to choose to be an exit node, where the data is unencrypted and delivered to its final destination. With the free version of Hola VPN, you don't have a choice. However, you can instead pay and use their traditional VPN servers.
If this is fully communicated,
I don't believe that most people who use a free VPN fully understand what they're agreeing to here. So consent, maybe, but informed consent, I don't know. Anyway, we have our usual VPN partner, PIA. We'll have them linked in the video description as usual. They don't do that.
It's not super obvious. It might be detailed somewhere on their site, but it's not like shouted at you right away.
And finally, Valve has updated their rules prohibiting content that may violate payment processor and bank rules. Valve recently updated their guidelines under what you shouldn't publish on Steam to include the following: Content that may violate the rules and standards set forth by Steam's payment processors and related card networks and banks or internet network providers. In particular, certain kinds of adult-only content. This was followed shortly by some people noticing that several hundred games were removed from the Steam store, mainly adult-themed games. This has sparked several different complaints from people, such as, this just proves once again, you will never own anything online that can be removed at any moment, and, of course, how can credit card companies decide what I can and can't do with my money? That's the big one for me, because I guess I'm just used to the other one. No, I'm not. No, it's still bad. Being able to remove content that I own is sucky, but I think they're only removing it from the store. They can't remove it from your library if you already own it.
Yeah, the line about, once again, you never own anything, they didn't take it from you.
Yeah. No, I'm more upset about why is it that credit card companies are the moral arbiters of the internet?
They decided we couldn't do certain things with Flowplane.
How does that make any sense?
It's trash.
And this is not the first time this has happened. For example, OnlyFans had an issue a couple of years ago with major credit card companies pulling out as payment options because they no longer wanted to be associated with the rising sex work that was taking place on the site. But it's just like, buddy, if I go to an ATM and I use my credit card to take out cash and I buy the services of a hooker, like what are you even talking about? Like quite frankly, like I don't really see how it's any of your business.
I don't think they should be able to at all. I think the government should potentially be able to step in, but they would be stepping in and like closing the place down because they're selling drugs or something. But I don't think a credit card company should be able to police what you buy.
We have a hypothetical scenario here. A creator wants to use Floatplane as a platform to, do not safe for work content. Is it hypocritical if Floatplane says this isn't okay versus the credit card company deciding it's not okay? Well, I think Floatplane, we've always been pretty clear internally that we don't actually really care what people use it for.
No, but I understand what they're saying. If we're saying that credit card companies shouldn't be able to police this, but we have a platform and we police the platform, is that hypocritical? In my opinion,
the difference is we're nobody.
Yeah. Even if we were somebody, we're an individual platform, you can choose to go somewhere else. This is a unanimous thing from effectively two companies that run global credit cards.
No. They mean, are we being in our space that is our domain? No. I think that's completely
I think
different.
this applies to some landlord type situation or something.
Our
because
house,
this
our
is a
rules
service that we are choosing to use. The thing is, if you want to exist online as a paid platform, you have to use credit card companies. And if you're using credit card companies, if you kill Visa or MasterCard, you have ruined your ability to do business. Like they have an effective monopoly.
Yes.
So it's actually not okay. And you can't just pick up your bootstraps and make your own credit card company. Like, no, it's not going to happen.
You literally can't.
Yeah. So I do not think it is fair and equal. It's the same thing as when you look at policing moderation and not having free speech on the linustech tips forum, because it's no, we don't want the moderators to be just overloaded with constant political conversations, and it's a tech forum, get over it, talk about tech stuff. Yes, we allow off-topic conversations, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm completely okay with that because you have near infinite other solutions that you could use for going and being social online. There is not near infinite other options for payment processing. And these payment processors genuinely right now kind of decide how the internet works, and how a lot of brick and mortar places work. And to be fair, the vast majority of places are going to automatically be within their policies. But if you aren't within their policies, they get to dictate what you do. We had a call with, I think it was PayPal really early on. And they were like, yeah, no, you can't do X, Y, or Z things. And that might have, in PayPal's defense, that might have been PayPal passing forward this from the credit card companies, because we also had a call with Stripe later on saying we couldn't do X, Y, or Z things either. Even though I think that ended up being, in their case, maybe actually hypocritical, because I'm pretty sure OnlyFans ended up being too big of a fish, and Stripe went back and is handling things for them anyways. Let me see.
Sound like a bunch of prudes.
Let me see. I thought
You with me, Dan?
OnlyFans currently uses Stripe as their payment processor. So they got over it because they saw the bag was huge and decided to do it anyway.
So I guess that's where I was going with the bit about how Valve could. Valve is a big enough fish that they could just be like, I dare you. I dare you to turn off MasterCard and piss off literally every gamer who shops on Steam and uses MasterCard. You've got to be kidding me right now. Because people would be rioting. They'd be going to their banks demanding to be able to use MasterCard on Steam. They'd be like, okay, then I want a different credit card. There's no way.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, like, I think people would actually go. I think there are some people that would demand a different credit card, but Visa and MasterCard move in lockstep on this. Again, effective monopoly. So there aren't a ton of other options. There's some, but not very many. There's some, but their back ends are still, what is it? Cirrus and whatever the other one is, which is Cirrus and Moneris, which are effectively, they're just, it's the same thing. Basically, you can't get away from it.
Yeah.
So they
kind of like
they
how
move in
the
lockstep and
insurance
you can't get
industry
away
is
from it.
all dictated by the underwriters, and there's like a handful of them.
Yeah, exactly. So you're going to get screwed. And with something like OnlyFans, that industry was already used to sketchy alternative payment methods. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, but I'm assuming that's what OnlyFans used in the past. So this was net new market. Whereas I think their argument could be that might be enough to finally push people off of Steam to another platform. So they might not actually lose those users.
I don't know, man. I think Valve would retain those users, and I think that they have the sway to basically go to the Steam gaming community and say, "Hey, we're not going to be held hostage by this. Go to your bank. Literally, go to your bank tomorrow and demand to know why you can't buy games on Steam."
They'd have to pull a
Epic Games.
Epic Games versus Apple. Yeah.
And
you know what would be wild is if they like offered free games to people that didn't have those credit cards or something.
Valve doesn't campaign. I think Valve does their own thing.
They're very quiet.
Yep. They quietly do their own thing, and Gaben hangs out on his yacht and does interviews for channels that have like dozens of subscribers, apparently. Did you see that this week?
No.
Yeah, he did an interview with just like...
Don't sound too salty.
It was, what? No, I've never asked him for an interview. But just like he did... No, it was actually another article I read that pointed out that the people he did the interview with just like were not huge.
Cool.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty
like
cool.
random people that email them and stuff.
Yep.
Does that respond to every email ever?
I don't think so.
Did I get an email from him at some point? Hold on a second. I don't think I ever got a response, but I did send him a whiny email once, and my problem was resolved.
Sometimes that's a form of response.
Basically, I said that our PR rep was completely fucking useless and pointed out that we have literally the top viewed piece of media on every piece of Valve hardware ever. And it's an embarrassment that we not only were not seeded something, I couldn't even buy it. And they weren't able to accommodate me buying. I think this was the Index.
Yeah, it sounds like the Index.
Yeah. And it's just like, guys, I'm willing to buy it. And you're not able to accommodate getting this thing into my hands so that I can cover it. Come on.
I forgot about this until very recently, actually, but that's very related to how I ended up getting Palmer Lucky's contact. Is
really?
I raged out at one point on Twitter, back when it was Twitter, about how like the amount of work that I've done since like the very beginning, and like the quality level of our reviews at that time, and all this kind of stuff, and I still couldn't get actual emails back from anyone at Oculus. I still couldn't get good samples. We were just buying things up front, often getting them super late, and all this kind of stuff was still happening. And he responded, and then that's how we ended up getting stuff in the future was just talking to him directly. I don't know if you remember that.
That's hilarious. Well, we'll probably never get anything from him again, so that's resolved.
Yeah, probably not. Dan's like, I want my like border crossing radar thing. Whatever.
We're lucky.
Yeah. How did Noki have that immediately available? That's
What is it?
apparently there was a Reddit thread from 10 years ago.
That seems like this kind of thing Noki would do.
Immediately had it. But yeah.
Man, I do not think I'm going to be able to. I don't think I'm going to be able to find this.
What are you trying to find?
I'm trying to find the.
Your email?
I'm trying to find my whiny email.
Mm.
They've been really good lately. I mean, they're Valve, so they're like not super communicative or whatever. Like they're good in their Valve, but before that, they were like my contact was utterly useless. Like you'd have to be just completely not doing your job to not notice like the media outlet that literally has the top performing video on every single hardware product you've ever released. Like, come on.
Noki was like, tell Linus to give me his email credentials and I'll find it, LOL.
Bet he could. You'd find all kinds of stuff in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we in After Dark?
I think maybe. Is there anything else? We are in After Dark. Hooray. Hurrah, huzzah.
Here we go. No, I've got it. I knew this was going to be hilarious. This is from 2021. So I emailed my press contacts. I said, the subject line is Steam Pal. We're very interested in covering this and would love to get access ahead of time so we can have day one coverage. I sent a follow-up 3 weeks later, which I think is a pretty reasonable amount of time to send a follow-up. Hi, name. I haven't gotten replies from you the last couple of times I've emailed. Is it possible my emails are getting filtered again? Which means you're ignoring my emails, you piece of... Can you please pay attention and at the very least reply to my email and tell me you're not interested? I know you're getting my emails. But that's like corporate nice speak for...
Yeah.
I know you're getting my emails. Can you please respond? Hold on. I accidentally just pressed the power button on my laptop, so now I get to...
Way to go.
Use Windows Hello. Okay. And then another 3 weeks later, which again I think is a very reasonable amount of time to wait, I CC'd Gabe and I said, I guess it ended up being called Steam Deck. I read about it on The Verge today. No pre-briefing, no mailing list email, no communication at all. I don't like throwing people under the bus. So last time I had to, I did email him and I did get a response from this guy the time before. Last time I had to email you to get a response from person. I spun it as, maybe my emails are going to his spam, lol, oops. At this point, I've waited years for a change, so it's time for some honest feedback. This guy is one of, if not the worst and least responsive media relations reps I have ever encountered. Is there anyone else at Valve we can work with? If there is, I'd love to start that conversation. If I'm stuck with him, can you please gently remind him that we are among the highest viewed media outlets in the world for basically every piece of hardware Valve has released in the last few years? Link. Even if we weren't, completely ignoring emails is just rude. Thanks for reading and have a wonderful day. And I got a new rep immediately.
I wonder with stuff like this, like he probably has someone who monitors his inbox.
I wonder
if he never even saw it and it just got taken care of.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, that last interview, I read it. It was really good. And he just said, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you can take people's words with a grain of salt, right? But he says he just loves to work and he just works day and night and he just loves what he's working on. He's got like that neural implant company and like he has some like ocean stuff and like Valve and I don't know, whatever. If my job was that cool, I'd probably think it was pretty cool too.
Apparently, he said a bunch of times that he's the only one that reads his emails.
Hamnetic says, You didn't throw him under the bus. You threw him in the bus that was thrown into the Grand Canyon. Well, like, look, the guy ignored me for 6 weeks on the most important hardware and software product that Valve has probably ever released in terms of the impact this is going to have on the industry. I wanted to be part of it, to support it. Like, it's not like he was like trying to shield Valve from like an unfair critic or something like that. Like, I am an ally, pun intended, of the Steam Deck and the mission of SteamOS. Like, come on, man. Oh. Yeah, anyway. Dan, it's after dark. Should we do some merch messages?
Yeah, let's do some merch messages.
Karen, Linus, lol. Well, sometimes you have to be a Karen to get things done, man. I don't make the rules.
The root word of Karen is care.
Thanks, Luke.
No problem. I got you.
Care to ruin your day. Hey, DLL. This question is directly towards Linus. Do you ever plan to do any other interviews, any social media or television media? Personally, you should make an appearance on Hot Ones.
I mean, I would have loved to go on Tonight Show with Stephen Colbert. Too bad it's canceled. Let me try and think. Like, where else would I love to go? We've talked about what it would be like to do, like Joe Rogan, for instance. I really just don't know what I would. I don't know what I'd talk to him about. I don't think he'd be interested in me. I think is
He's had other YouTubers on.
the main. Yeah, but interesting ones. Whereas like the Late Show format, I think is
what
good.
other YouTubers has he had on now? Because now I want to see. Because now Linus thinks they are more interesting than him.
Well, it's all about your particular interest. Like, I know he's had like the Paul brothers on, but they're like into fighting. I'm not. Like, what are my overlapping interests with Mr. Rogan?
I'm pretty sure he's had Marquez. He's had Mr. Beast.
Okay, but Mr. Beast is literally the face of YouTuber. Marquez is way more mainstream and trendy. Like, come on.
Does that mean more interesting? Are you conceding that he's more interesting than you?
I'm conceding that Joe Rogan would find that more interesting, and a more mainstream audience would find that more interesting.
All right.
I mean, look, the metrics are out there, right? Like, I think Marquez's average views per video is like double or triple what we do, quadruple, somewhere in that range. Like, in terms of raw numbers of views on the channel, it's higher, but we're more prolific uploaders. So in terms of like what's the audience breadth, I think it's higher, especially with some of the very moment products that he gets early access to. Like Apple Vision Pro would be a great example to twist that knife a little bit more for you. Luke was very upset that we were late on Vision Pro.
Yeah, we shouldn't have been.
See?
I will not concede.
See how bothered he is? Tell you what. Let me make it up to you. Do you want another chip?
I could use another chip maybe.
Because I could give you another chip.
Yeah, well, give me a second. I'm preparing to receive another chip.
I mean, what do you got to do? You got to get your like mouth saliva warmed up, or like this. Now you're making it kind of weird. I'm not sure if I want to give you the chip anymore.
Here, just do it. Give me the chip.
All right. Here's your chip. Okay.
I go.
You're welcome. Sorry. I forgot to drop my chip.
You screwed it up.
I don't like making messes. I'm still gonna eat it.
It's actually really smooth.
Anyway, I'm down to be invited to things. I often don't get invited to things. I'm a little bit dorky. I get it, and that's cool. I like that YouTube acknowledges me now. I appreciate that. for a long time they didn't. They had this thing where they like went really far away from tech. They were trying like not to be tech, even though in the early days of YouTube it was like very tech. Like tech was on the front page. We had a category and everything. And then they were like, oh, we don't want to be tech. No, we're cool. And then so they like didn't want to engage with not just me, but like a lot of tech creators. And then now they're very acknowledging of their tech creators. I think they do a much better job of it. So that's good enough for me. And if I'm ever feeling sad about people not inviting me to, more cool formats like, late shows or hot ones or Joe Rogan Experience or whatever, then I'll just cry on my play buttons. I'll be okay.
It would be pretty painful to wipe your tears with play buttons, but I'm sure you could find a way.
No, I don't know about painful. Not very effective, mind you.
Yeah, fair enough.
Dan.
Internet doesn't like my mic very much. Maybe you guys...
I was going to say, can we mute mine when you're talking? Because I think that's the problem.
Really low quality.
Oh, but I think people are also hearing you twice. I think they're hearing you through mine.
Should we just have Dan sit next to Luke? That's an idea. I'm just pitching ideas.
You have merch messages.
I don't, actually.
You don't have the dashboard open? You guys.
No, I don't.
That's fine. Just read them yourself.
I mean, I can read them. Luke, you can read them. I'll read them.
I literally just said I don't have them.
Jared W. spent $309, good Lord, and said, "G'day, DLL. Did Linus find a solution to his HDMI CEC constantly swapping to Shield? If so, what was it? Solutions Online, don't fix it for me." No, I didn't. I went and I bought an old
I don't think it matters.
Harmony remote.
Sorry.
And I'm going to install it now because that's what I know how to use, and I am old, and I like just using things that I know how to use. So I'm going to turn all the CEC stuff off on everything, and I'm going to use a universal remote again, even though that is ridiculous. Oh, right. I guess I read merch messages now. Sorry, I forgot. Let's move on to the next merch message. This is throwing me off. Jonathan E. says, "Hey, LLD, bring back the byte blocks." No. Do you have any tips on dealing with other teams that lack accountability and often push blame onto others for their own actions? Love the WAN show as always. Oh. I think at the end of the day, the only possible solution to that is forthright, honest conversations. And part of the challenge, and I've been running into this a fair bit lately, is everyone's version of the honest truth is a little bit different. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's malicious. It can just mean that our individual lived experiences are...
It doesn't even necessarily mean it's wrong.
Yeah.
Which is a fun one.
Yeah. 100%, because so much of how we communicate is not just the words, it's tone, it's body language, it's the past history that we have with that particular person or with those particular people that can color any future interactions. It can be really challenging to arrive on a single universal one truth that
and nobody else actually thinks that or whatever else. The situation might be more complicated than it seems on the surface, and I would recommend leaving room for that to be true, or honestly, just leave room for them to save face on the way.
Yeah, kind of like how my email. Hey, my email is going to your spam filter.
It might be in your spam, and then they could be like, "Oh yeah, sorry, it was."
Gives
and
them an
if
out.
It wasn't. Whatever.
Let them.
You guys are moving on.
Give them a path forward that doesn't require an apology. Is a powerful strategy for resolving differences. It does mean that you just have to high road it and just, deal with that transgression is never going to be addressed and you're never going to get an apology. But if it gives you a path forward, then that's great. And if it ultimately doesn't work, hey, pack them into the bus and huck it into the Grand Canyon.
Yeah. I am equipped to read them now, but this one is to me, so...
Question for Luke from Andrew H. You've spoken before about how you worked hard to get yourself into better physical shape. How did you motivate yourself to not give up? Do you have any tips for people looking to do the same?
I'm actually on a down track right now, which is unfortunate. I find this I get sick like way too often. And I find that I don't actually have an insane appetite unless I'm sick. A lot of people lose their appetite when they're sick, and my appetite goes through the freaking moon. So I find it hard to regulate weight while I'm sick because I tend to balloon unless I'm like really pleased with myself. Um, so I've been struggling a little bit lately just due to sickness and travel cycles. But I'm definitely still motivated. And the strength portion is still decently high because that doesn't have too many issues. The motivation is it's not I've talked about this before. It's not motivation anymore. It's an internal demand. It's I don't go to the gym because I'm motivated. I go to the gym because I have to. And it helps that I tend to enjoy it when I'm there, but I am a person who struggles with mode shifting. So once I'm doing a thing, I want to keep doing it. I've described this before as like, you know, every time I try to preface this before I say it, with I take showers every day, but I never want to get into the shower. Once I'm in the shower, I could genuinely happily stay there for like an hour. I like to keep doing the thing that I'm doing. This also creates a problem where like I never want to go to bed. I never want to go to sleep. I could stay up for so long and have no problem. The problem will then be that once I go to sleep, I don't want to get up.
Hear me out. Maybe this is a chicken and egg problem. If you could lose more weight, you could solve your inertia problem.
Maybe.
Maybe it's just a lot of work for you to change what you're doing.
I was doing pretty well in the first little bit of the year, and then I was down 18 pounds before the Computex trip, and then traveling for 3 weeks, and then I was sick for a really long time after that.
Travel's
and the
brutal.
combination was I was out of the gym and having issues with eating because of either being sick or being traveling, and that like 6+ weeks of being out just set me so far back. It's really disappointing, but I don't. The disappointment doesn't demotivate me because again, it's not motivation that's driving me. It's an internal requirement. I have to do. That's 100% a spectrum marker. Yeah, I'm somewhere on it. I don't really care. I'm happy with how I operate, so I don't care to deal with it. But I'm going to go regardless, and I'm going to do these things regardless. So I'm not worried about that. That it sucks and it's disappointing to have lost progress, but it in no way impedes my desire to keep moving forward. It's just I am further back from the goal that I wanted by the end of this year than I would have liked to have been at this point. That does not mean that the goal that I have for the end of this year is impossible. And even if it was, okay, just commit to improving habits moving forward and push the goal back a little bit to a reasonable point and genuinely push towards doing that. That's how I've always kind of aimed for this. I had a bunch of strength goals, and then I got brutally sick for like 6 months. This was a while ago, and a lot of my strength goals fell back. So I just deferred them and then eventually hit them. And you just keep moving. You have to be relentless with it. I think like I hit a certain age where it's like, to be healthy, it is a requirement that I need to be in the gym. I don't necessarily know if this is as true for everybody, but I'm experiencing if I don't use my body, I get mentally depressed. That is a truth for me. I'm not necessarily saying that is a truth for all of you. That is a truth for me. I have to be out there and I have to do things. I'm sure I could replace the gym with any form of sport or physical activity that actively used my muscles. I don't think it has to be the gym. I'm sure I could help people move every day and maybe be fine. Because for me, I think that's really the point, is that I have to move.
I think you'd actually thrive on that. You like helping people and like you like physical
Genuinely.
Activity. I think you'd be down.
I don't think it's the gym in particular. I like try to. There's a move happening at LMG right now, and I'm actually sad that I'm not helping. I was going to volunteer to help this weekend.
We have a couple departments that are moving around.
I'm here. I was like, dang, why is it this weekend? I actually wanted to do that. Yeah.
A big one for me is accountability buddies as well. If you're on a team or if you have a group that does whatever it is that you're doing that's physical activity regularly, that goes such a long way. Like last night, I had badminton training, like sparring. So not like with an instructor or whatever, but one of our guys who works at Smash Champs, I saw him like recording one of his games, and I was like, "Yo, you never record your game. What are you even doing?" And he's like, "Oh man, no, I was like really motivated when Badminton Insight came out, and like we got to play against them, and just like it was really inspirational, and I want to like get sweaty. I want to improve again." And I was like, "Oh, that sounds sick. Like we should have like badminton improvement dates. We'll spar. We can run drills and stuff like that, because badminton's a sport that's nearly impossible to train by yourself. There are some things you can do. You can just go on a court or in an empty parking lot, and you can like do footwork drills, or you can hit against a wall and stuff like that. There are things you can do, but like if you really want to play, you need someone to hit the shuttle back to you. And so last night. Okay, let's back up. So on Wednesday night, Yvonne asked me to feed her, which is what it's called when you have a really weird dynamic in your relationship around food. No, just kidding. She asked me to feed her, which is what it's called when you like grab a whole row of shuttles on your arm and you like toss them up and hit them so that someone can like work on their consistency. And instead of just going and feeding Yvonne, I fed her for like an hour, and then I was like, "Oh, well, okay, you're probably too tired to do drills anymore, but do you want to go play like a couple mixed doubles games? We have our grand opening tournament coming up, and Yvonne and I are going to be playing together." And she was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we can go play a couple games." We ended up playing like 5 games, and they were like super intense, and I was running a ton. And so last night, Thursday, I was bushwhacked, dude. Like I did not feel like it. But like, what? I'm going to bail? Don't be a flake. You can't be a flake.
That's another thing, dude. If it's a bad cycle, because I will start again. I mean, I'm literally in the middle of doing well with it right now, so it's not that. But I'm saying in general, if there's a down cycle, I get sick or I'm traveling or whatever, I will start again. It's no problem. But it is always the worst, because my energy is the lowest when it feels so like counterintuitive. But if I'm not going and expending large amounts of energy, my average energy level will be very low.
Mm-hmm. I feel it too, and I get like irritable. I get like cranky.
Yeah,
and I'll be like, "Wait, I haven't played badminton in 2 weeks. Like I haven't done anything." The
most zen I will literally ever be is if I have a genuinely maximum effort leg workout. On the drive home, I don't think I will ever be more calm than like in that moment. I'm just so relaxed. It's actually wild.
Elemental Exposure asks, shuttle versus birdie. So the official term is shuttlecock. In a lot of the Western world, people don't really like the whole cock tee thing. So we call it a shuttle, and filthy casuals call it a birdie. You're welcome. So if you said birdie, I would assume you mean like a plastic one.
Yeah, honestly, that makes sense to me.
When Bingo Chronified says, I say we call it a shuttle dick. You know what? I could get on board. You want to smack the dick around?
You should make it so that the like foamy wiper ass. Like,
so if I go to feed Yvonne,
like
I'll be feeding her.
Yeah. Sounds good. Should I read the next one?
Sure.
Okay. Where do you see car automation going in the future? Will there eventually be a government-led open source software that all cars will have so they can communicate with each other on the road?
I mean, that's a pretty cool utopian dream, but I don't know if it's compatible with the current sort of capitalistic structure that we live in.
Yeah,
I would love
Nuclei in Flowplane chat just said ha 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 ha, and I think it was in response to this.
Yeah, I mean, government controlled and open source already sounds like it's not going to be a thing. All cars communicating on the road sounds like it's not going to be a thing. That would just be rife with potential for abuse. I would love cars to have like transponders or something like that give each other situational awareness of the actions that they're taking and the actions they intend to take. I'd love to see like an open framework for that allows interoperation. Excuse me. I don't know who is going to be motivated to drive it, though, pun intended.
Next merch message.
Hold on.
Hey,
BR
WAN
Jedi. Hold on. BR Jedi says government controlled ... utopia. Well, yeah, but that's the whole point. Is that in a utopia you would have a benevolent government that would do stuff like this. But like that's why we said ha 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 ha. Come on, man.
Hey, WAN.dll, I triggered the paint rant a few days ago when I made my first purchase.
A few years ago.
Linus, right. Yeah, anything new Linus wants to rant about?
I mean, we just did our Tech Gripes video. I don't know if I have the energy to rant right now. My lips hurt. But hey, thanks for your purchase. Enjoy your Style Blue, whatever it is that you bought. Oh, 3 items. A precision multi-bit screwdriver and bit case, and a jerry rig razor knife. Okay, what is that? What Style Blue? How does that make any sense? Oh, for the thing on there.
That was their message.
Yes. Yep. That makes sense.
I had to look for it for a sec. Okay.
See, there it is. Blue Style. Nice.
Most esteemed Danonite order. Humbly requesting an update on the Sacred Bike. Also at Linus, visiting Vancouver in September. Any must-ride roads for a loyal 2-wheeled pilgrim? Thanks.
I am going to... I am not going to ride in July.
Oh.
I reached out. I said, hey, on Wednesday, actually, I reached out. Are we still on track for me to ride this month? And Buddy's not been feeling well. So I basically said, don't worry, man. At this point, the delay is 96% on me. So I don't want you to lose any sleep over it. So I'll get it when I get it.
More than 96%.
Yeah, you know what? I've had enough of your crap.
The fact that he stored it in his place this whole time is wild. But all right. Next message from Ji Chao O. Hopefully I said that right. How's the new door lock working for you? The wireless charging seems like quite interesting for me to consider it for my future smart lock.
I really like it so far. It is a door lock, but smart. And wirelessly charges. It does exactly what it says on the tin. I actually didn't know that video was up yet. I wonder how it's doing. I have no idea what people's appetite is for like ludicrously expensive door lock. Apparently pretty good. It's a 2 out of 10 for the channel. That's hilarious. I mean, I guess it's a good title. I waited 7 years for a 0 battery smart lock, which I did. That company, I first saw them at Computex, and then we first collaborated with them 7 years ago. They actually flew out here and showed us their technology. It's infrared wireless power transmission, and it's super cool. Y-Charge, and we actually talked about them on WAN Show a little while ago, which was what prompted them to reach out and offer to send this door lock over, because Luke and I were talking about them, and I was like, do they still exist? Like, did they make it or what? And they emailed me. They're like, we very much have survived. Thank you for mentioning us. Also, are you interested in checking out any of our new stuff? Pretty cool.
All right, next one. I'm not necessarily sure what this means, so hopefully Linus knows. Hey, LLD, could Linus touch in more detail about the all sales final thing? Don't know what that is. Is the mystery screwdriver bought for Lime Day still under warranty? It would be great to see the power outlet in the US as well.
Yeah, all sales final doesn't mean that you have no warranty necessarily. It means that you can't like just change your mind and be like, oh yeah, I don't want it anymore. Oh, wait. Unless you're talking about like the B stock stuff. Like if you're just like, oh yeah, I didn't realize that this used item was going to have a little scuff on it. Then it definitely wouldn't cover that. Hold on a second though. I just wanna check something. It is possible that some of the used like new pictures contain. Oh, wait. No, okay, I don't know what you're asking here because it's explicit on these items. Power outlet purchases are final. No returns, exchanges, warranty. They are what they are. So there you go. Pictures contain examples of cosmetic wear. Read the fine print. Questions, please read our FAQ. What is the power outlet? Returned and like new gear, available at reduced prices while supplies last. It is only available to consumers residing in whatever. Can they be returned or exchanged? No exceptions, meaning refunds and exchanges will not be granted for these products. There we go. I'm glad we got a very, very clear answer for you. They are sold as is and are excluded from warranty coverage. You're buying these things for a fraction of the price, in some cases for a fraction of what we paid for them. So it is what it is, and enjoy the deal. Would be great to see the power outlet in the US as well. Yeah, it would. But I don't know when, if ever, that'll happen because I don't even know if a lot of stuff gets returned anymore. I think there's been kind of a sea change in e-commerce where things that ultimately are not able to be delivered just end up being destroyed rather than being returned to us in many cases. So I don't even know how many returns we're going to get these days, but if it happens, it happens, and it'll be a good deal for people who don't mind buying something final sale.
Interesting. Okay. Hi, Linus, Like, and Lan. When are bonus bin items coming back? I was looking forward to getting a sticker sheet or a pin. The shoelaces would also be cool.
We are looking at the bonus bin and trying to get some stuff going on. We've been extremely bogged down with just global logistics being an absolute shit show, with like tariff stuff and everybody and their dog trying to mass import stuff before tariff stuff, but then tariff stuff goes away. And we've had less bandwidth for the things that we want to do to delight our customers, because we've had to waste so much of it on just horse shit. So we're not the only ones that are feeling it. So I'm not asking for anyone to like feel bad for us or whatever. We're just, you're seeing the cracks form.
I'm just going to read the next one anyways. I feel like it's easier this way. Luke, I used to play Pogo or Pokemon Go, but don't have the community anymore. Instead, I've started birding. I get walking, I get community, and I find critters without the screen. Have you ever thought about trying birding? Not so much. Being a bird person of sorts, I do enjoy seeing birds when I'm out, but I have not thought of going birding. Something that I do these days with Pokemon Go to look at the screen less is I got those, what is it called again? A Pokemon Go Plus Plus. So you don't even have to have your phone unlocked. You can have it locked and in your pocket, and either the thing will try to catch stuff automatically for you, or you can press the button on it and it'll like buzz if it detects something, and if you press the button it'll throw a better ball at it. So sometimes I'll do that so I can go out to a community event and never actually even look at my phone, and then just walk around the whole time without doing this, which sounds a lot better. It feels nicer on my neck. I will inadvertently do things like notice birds more and stuff like that. That defeats the purpose of Pokemon Go. No, it doesn't, because the thing will buzz twice, detecting that something is there. You press the button, and then it will attempt to catch. So it'll go like, just like the Pokeball going, and then be like, oh, you got your Pokemon. It will do buzzes that mimic that, but if you get it, then it'll go like, so it indicates that you got it. And it'll do the attempting to catch thing, but if it fails, it'll go did-it, so you know that you failed. And when you're out at a community day, it's usually the same Pokemon every single time, so you don't need to see it on your screen. And there's a bunch of the hyper nerds that are out playing that are doing, I think it's called speed catching or something, and they barely even see this stuff anyways. So like, I don't see a difference personally, and I am not playing that game. I have said this before. I think Pokemon Go is actually a very bad game. The only reason why I like it is because it gets me outside. And this is an evolution that gets me outside and looking at my screen less. What a banger. That sounds great to me. I don't like the actual gameplay of Pokemon Go is so bad. The PvP is terrible. The PvE is terrible. the gameplay sucks anyways, so why do I care? If I'm getting little dopamine hits from walking because my thing is buzzing, going, look, you caught the thing that is going around right now, or whatever.
It's 9 p.m. on Friday, and the warehouse during heavy times like Lime Day is sometimes packing things over the weekend when our customer service is not in office. So I don't know if I can promise you.
I want to throw out another gamer move that you can do with Pokemon Go, because I think I've said this forever. I think a lot of people play games incorrectly. They only go for the incentives that the game tells them to go for. They don't do things beyond that. They don't find their own ways to create difficulties. They don't find their own ways to have fun. They just follow the byline, or they follow the achievements that the game lays out, or whatever else. And Pokemon Go is one of those. Pokemon has a not very popular feature called routes. But a route could be like a trail that you can walk. And when you get to the end, it gives you like an extremely minor reward, which is why it's not popular. But if you don't care about the reward so much, and you do it because there's at least a little bit of reward, while you walk along the route, there's a slightly increased Pokemon spawn along the route while you're doing it. So you can literally go for a little hike. You can go with someone else, whatever, and you don't have to be actually distracted conversationally or anything, or be staring at your phone, because you can just boop, 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 press the little button, or just let it go off in your pocket automatically, and you're literally not interacting with it at all. And you can still have your little goopy goblin gamer brain gaining little goopy goblin gamer brain little bonus nugget things, and be out walking, enjoying nature, head up, not staring at screen, potentially conversating with another person. It's freaking sick. Don't just do what the game wants you to do. Do the thing that you want to do and have fun with. Cool. Nice.
All right. Well, that's it for the WAN show. Oh, my mouth's sore. I didn't talk for a little bit there, and the braces got all like stuck into the like ragged flesh inside my lips. We'll see you again next week. Same bad time, same bad channel.
What a visual. Bye. Oh my.